Welcome to Inspired Women, Amazing Lives podcast, where we seek to thrive, flourish, and celebrate amazing women. Kimberley Wiggins here, and we are hosting inspired women who are sharing their lives and stories so that other women may know that the journey to your amazing life is definitely within reach. We are here every week to share resources and information that will help you along the journey to being that inspired woman leading an amazing life. Remember to like and comment, and most definitely share these episodes with another woman that you admire and one who truly inspires you. Or simply share with someone you would like to inspire. Enjoy. Welcome to Inspired Women, Amazing Lives. And this is Kimberley Wiggins, the host of the podcast, Inspired Women, Amazing Lives, and the website. I have a website of the same name. I want to welcome you today, as I am not the normal, I hate the glare on there. The normal path for my podcast is, of course, I do interview style. So I interview a lot of amazing women that can give you a lot of great insight to things that you can do for your business. But today, for this edition of the podcast, I wanted to come to you and talk about something that's near and dear on my heart. I wanted to have a message, and this may be a change in the format where at the last of every monthly episodes, at the last of the series of the monthly episodes, that I will actually be doing a solo cast with just me. So we'll see how it works out. But anyway, today, what I wanted to talk about was vision. And here's why. So in the past few weeks, I've spoken with a lot of women who should be focused on their business and the amazing thing, their passion, the amazing thing that they bring to the world. But that has not been the case. And so a lot of women have been in that space just recently. A lot of potential clients and women in discussion groups and that I've spoken to, where they feel like they're fizzling out, where they're not feeling that, making sure I set my timer here, where they're not really feeling the burn to get a whole lot done in their business and just be so driven. And of course, you know, your business is really not about getting a whole lot done. It's about getting the necessary things done. The things that support your money-making activities and the money-making activities themselves. And so that is the gist of the business. And so many women are like, oh, I can't find the time. I don't know what to do next. I feel like I've run out of ideas. I feel like I need some marketing. I feel like I need some Facebook ads. They come up with all these different things that they feel like they need in their business. And one of the things I wanted to be able to talk about is that you really do not have a problem with knowledge in your business or what to do next or any of those other things. You really just have an execution problem. You do not have a knowledge problem. You have an execution problem. So the question is, why are you not able to execute in your business the way that you need to see the results that you really want to see? And so that's kind of what I want to talk about today. But in doing so, I am taking you all the way back to vision, because I feel like The vision is the foundation of everything that we're doing. If you don't have a big vision for why you're doing all of this, you will probably start a business. It'll probably go well for a while, and then you will fizzle out, or you will not be able to still clearly move forward in your business because you don't have really good clarity about what it is that you're doing. It's your vision. So I'm taking it way back today so that we can get in touch, we can reconnect with our visions, that we can figure out what it is that made us want to do this amazing, amazing thing that we said yes to. So here we go. One of the first things that I really want to talk about in this conversation today is really, let's take a look back at why we decided to do this. And for example, I'm going to give you some personal examples and then some examples from some people that I know. Okay, so here's a personal example of my why. I worked in corporate America for a very long time. You know, I started out in accounting, and some of you who know my story may know that, you know, I've just been through some transitional things that were amazing in my corporate career. I started out in accounting, I moved into IT and project management and loved all of it. But here's what I didn't like. I felt like, especially the women, I discounted the men, to be honest with you. Especially the women in corporate America, to me, felt so lifeless and heartless and just out of character. You know, we as women are normally very warm and welcoming and nurturing, and not to say that every woman is that way, but in corporate America, I found such a large disparity of women who just were not at all. Their mantra was not to lift another woman up, but to drag another woman down. And when I started having conversations with some of these women in corporate America, and they weren't very nice conversations, all of them, one of the things that I noticed was that a part of who they were in this environment made them feel like that's what they needed to do to get ahead. And they really had a dark, dead look in their eyes when they would talk about this. Now, what is interesting is this, because I knew that's not who they wanted to be. And here's how I knew. We would have, one of the companies that I worked for would have pretty regular functions, maybe once every 3 months, once every 4 months, Christmas parties and all these other get-togethers so we could get to know each other better. Those women would come to those spaces in those events with their best happy face on and be happy and light and carefree. And I actually grew to like a lot of those women during the time, because that's not what I saw at work. And that was my why. I knew that there was something, first of all, I knew I didn't want to be those women, because I wanted to be true to who I was and all the time, and true to what I wanted to do all the time. So I knew I didn't want to be those women. I knew that I wanted something greater for my life. And I knew I wanted to help other women that were in that corporate environment, business environment, work environment. I wanted to help them transform themselves so that they could be happy, so that they could have a big vision, so that they could really enjoy what they did, so that they could have a big life. And at the core of all of that was so that they could enjoy their families. One lady, I remember one particular lady that I worked with when I was working in that corporate environment, shared with me that she would be so exhausted at the end of the day, but because she had given the best portions of herself to the company, that when she got home, she was usually grumpy, yelling at the kids, trying to feed them, put them in the bed, and be done with them for the night so she could get up the next day and do it all over again. And I was like, oh, I felt so awful about that, because I felt as though she was really a great person once you got to know her. But her children weren't being given the advantage of being able to see that, because they got grumpy mom all the time. And I felt really bad about that. So I was that was my why. I was on a mission to change the way that women felt about themselves. And it's like, I felt as though, because, hey, I decided to start a business using what was inside of me. So I feel as though every woman has that inside of them to use what their skills, abilities, talents, their knowledge, and create something that they can make money from at home, so that they could be at home in the center of the family unit if they so choose, and really, really enjoy their families. And so my call to action, really, and I'm going to give you that up front, is for you to revisit your vision, revisit your why, go back to the passion, revert back to the passion, and figure out, why the heck am I doing this? You know, many of you have listened to my podcasts and read my blogs, and you have seen those moments where, especially a couple months back, where I really just had like, I just had this major, I don't want to do this anymore kind of feeling. You know, I was stuck. I was in this funk. And I thought, maybe I'm not going to do this business anymore. But that's what it was for me. My mentor gave me an opportunity to reconnect with some other women who were out there trying to build their dreams, and giving me the opportunity to talk to them and be able to help them reconnect with their vision and their big dreams. And that is what pulled me back to my vision and my big dream. And I was so, it was like, yes, I so want to do this. So for those of you who are kind of like just stuck in a place and you're not sure what it is you should be doing or why, know that you don't have an execution problem. You don't have you don't have a knowledge problem. I'm sorry. You don't have a knowledge problem. You have an execution problem. You know exactly what to do next in your business. You are the expert for your business, so you really know this. But what is stopping you is the execution of those things. Now, there are a number of reasons why you can't execute. You don't have enough time. That is the number one reason I've heard. I just can't find the time. Time is something that you have to take command of. And that's just like so many other things in life, like your money, you know, your time, your relationships. You have to take command of it, or it will take command of you. You have to tell your time what to do, or your time will tell you what to do. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But before I do that, I wanted to take a minute and just make sure that my listening audience is aware of what a vision is. Because in talking to some women recently, they kept getting visions confused with goals. And so I wanted to be able to clarify that here on this discussion, the difference between a vision and a goal. The vision for you is the destination that you are visualizing in your mind or on paper even that you want to achieve. You don't know yet how you're going to get there, because so many times that's why we don't embrace the vision, is because we start thinking about the vision. We start wanting to put the vision in writing and solidify it. And then we get quickly into how we're going to get there. And then when we can't see the path to get there, we pitch the vision. And we're like, no, I won't be able to do it because I just can't. I just can't do this. And the point of the matter is, at that point in the visioning process, you don't even want to think about how you're going to get there. You don't even know how you're going to get there. You just want to have the vision. Like, for instance, my big vision, and I know this is a huge one. My big vision is for me to open a school, a leadership academy for children, so that they are being taught leadership from day one. From the very point of being, they are being taught leadership. So the vision is the destination, and you don't always have a clear path of exactly how you're going to get to that vision. You just don't know. That's where the goals come in. And so, just so we're clear on that, goals help you to set that path to achieve those big visions. And they act as kind of like milestones or breadcrumbs along the way. So just to compare and contrast visions and goals. Visions, they have no real end date. As you notice, I talked about my big vision. I didn't have an end date in mind. All I know is I'm going to work on the goals, which do have an end date. They're highly defined. And those goals are going to stack up and lead to the vision. The result of the vision is just what I said. There are no stops along the way. Where goals, each goal has they're result driven. You expect to see a result. And the goals are the actions. The vision, just you're there. Visions are limitless. More on the same point, just because there's no end in mind. With goals, there's a finite beginning and end, and we've moved on to the next goal. Visions, of course, are for the long haul. They're not short-term, light goals. And some goals are big goals, and some goals are just regular goals. And I have a very special way that I look at that. So I look at that as my big vision, then my big goals. And my big goals are my 3-month goals. And then my regular goals, those are my monthly goals. And then my tasks break out from there. So it's my vision, my big goals, my regular goals, and my tasks. They break out from there. And my tasks that are derived from the regular goals are done from week to week and day to day, and they are the thing that keeps you executing. And that's why some people are stuck, is because they've forgotten what the big vision is. So they can't figure out what the big goals are. And they can't, because they don't have a big goal, they can't break anything down into regular monthly goals and get to the weekly and daily tasks that keep them executing. Because it's only when you have defined your daily tasks are you able to continue to execute. So that's why I decided to take it all the way back to connecting with your vision. Because when you connect with your vision, then you are able to actually see the path, when you're very clear about your vision. I shared this on a Facebook Live that I did the other day. Jessie Lynn Stoner, this is a quote by her. She said, a big vision is not the same as a goal. A big goal is not the same as a vision. Sorry. She said, one way to distinguish between a vision and a goal is to ask, what's next? So we ask that a lot. What's next? A vision provides clear, ongoing direction. It is clear what you should do next. As you take each step, the next one becomes clearer. And a vision continues to act as a beacon, guiding you to set new goals once current ones have been achieved. So a vision is like a house it's the foundation, and it is built one goal at a time. And that is the analogy I kind of put together. The vision is the foundation. The goals are the bricks, and the bricks end up making the walls. They make the structure. But in order to get those walls up and the structure to be solid, you have to execute. Execution is the glue of it all. It is the thing that holds all the bricks together, puts the walls in place, make everything stand up nice and pretty on the foundation. It's all of the execution that needs to happen. So you want to make sure that you are thinking in terms of visions, goals, execution. Now, one of the reasons why I took it back to your vision is because connecting with your big vision will help you to map out your goals. So once you figure out, like, when I look at my big vision of wanting to open a school, then I can backtrack it. I can step back and say, okay, what are the things that I need to put in place to get to the place where I'm opening the school? So that is why the vision is important, because the vision gives you a place to land and backtrack so that you will know what are the steps that get me there. And so one of the things, like I have a visioning workshop that's coming up. It's in a giveaway that I'm promoting this week. And in this giveaway, the visioning workshop is in there. And in that visioning workshop, we'll be doing visualizations, exercises. We'll talk about confirmation statements. And a vision board is something that you can do. Or you can do a virtual vision board, whatever floats your boat. But the idea is to get it out of your head, to visualize it in your mind, see it clearly in vivid detail, and then get it out of your head so that you can now start to make goals around it so that you will reach your goals. Just a few other points on your vision. You know, I talked about clarity being key. You always want to have a clear picture of that. And then, just as that quote said, say, what's next? What's next for my vision? What's next for my goals? So the idea, and just to give you an example of what I actually do, is I create these big goals that are 90-day goals. So this is what I'm going to do for the third quarter of the year, for example, July, August, and September. And those goals can be measured by metrics. I would like to increase my following by X so many. I would like to grow my Facebook group by X so many. I would like to grow my revenue by X so much. Those are the big goals. And then within that 90-day chunk of goals, I'm then chunking those down month by month by month to figure out what exactly is it that I need to do to make this big goal a reality. Then I will begin to look at that monthly goal. Say, for instance, July is coming. And so I've mapped out my 90 days already. And I am now looking at, and I've already broken them down into the regular goals for July, August, and September. Now I'm looking at the tasks that I need to complete from week to week and day to day to make the monthly goals happen, which in turn roll up into the 90-day big goal. So that's pretty much a thought process. And then the final thing that I kind of do with all of that is I take all of my tasks and I roll it back to my calendar, because I do time blocking on my calendar. Now, for those of you who've not worked with any time blocking or heard of it before, it's simply, of course, where you are tracking your time heavily throughout your days, and you have your activities all planned out for the entire day. When you're going to wake up, when you're going to sleep, when you're going to eat, when you're going to do any of your activities in your life or your business. And I know some people say, oh, that's a lot. But I can attest to the fact that being able to do that has been the most freeing. It has been the most freeing thing that I've been able to do with my calendar and with my time. Because now I'm able to look at my calendar in a way where I am not spending too much time sending out emails, or I'm not spending too much time on social media. I am actually scheduling all those things out, so I know exactly what I'm going to do when. I'm not just waking up in the morning willy-nilly and doing things. I know when it is. I know what my day looks like. And I can course correct and make adjustments in that day very easily without being frustrated, overwhelmed, or feeling like my day is completely blown. So that is the beauty of all of that. And so that is why your vision is so important. And, create a vision statement. That's one of the things that we're going to do in the visioning workshop, is that we are actually going to create some vision statements. And what do those vision statements look like? Let me give you an idea of that. Those vision statements, let me see if I can get to them really quickly. Those vision statements kind of help you to, there they go. So I get some fill in the blank ones, and it's my big vision for my business is what? So that I can impact who? That is the beginning of it. And then from that, you can add additional things to that to enrich that statement, to make it really represent who you are and your values. Some of the other statements that we're going to work on is, to reach my big vision goals, I am helping who do what for their lives, not for your life, but for their lives. How are you enriching the lives of others? And I recently changed the name of my Facebook group, and working on growing my Facebook group, simply because I really believe that our big visions come from our big heart. And so that is the name of my new Facebook group. It's Inspired Women, Amazing Lives, Big Heart, Big Vision. Because most of us who have a really big heart have a really big vision. And in order to have a big heart and have a big vision and get that vision out to the world, you have really got to be on point with your calendar and your time and your goals to be able to execute well and get things done. And just because I'm talking about getting things done, I'm not talking about spending 40 or 50 or 60 hours a week getting things done. No, I'm talking about doing them efficiently and effectively. So you're only spending the amount of time getting things done that you really want to. One of the things my mentor does, and she loves her business and she loves to work in her business. But when she's ready to disconnect, she's ready to disconnect. And so because of that, she only spends as much time in her business, loving on her community and loving on her business for as long as she wants to, not 1 minute longer. And she can easily disconnect and relax, decompress, have fun, do something else, and not worry about her business. And that is the sweet spot. That is where we all want to be. But first, we've got to get our business aligned. Very much so. And that starts with the vision. What is it that you are trying to accomplish? Who is it that you are trying to impact? You know, I ask these introspection questions, and I'm going to leave you with these today as I close out this episode of Inspired Women, Amazing Lives. How is what you're doing impacting your current community? These are just some things for you to think about. What is your unique contribution to the world around us in the short term and in the long term? What are your values? How do your values impact how you show up in your business from day to day? How is what you're doing impacting your children and your grandchildren? What things have you secretly, in your heart of hearts, dreamed of? These are things that you dream of so secretly that you're not sharing it with your friends and your family because you are afraid that they may react negatively or laugh or think that you have lost your ever-loving mind. What are those things? What inspires you and excites you so much that you will work your butt off tirelessly to make it happen? What is the most important work that you feel like you do? What is that most important work? And then finally, what's next? I hope these questions help you. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Inspired Women, Amazing Lives. And I will see you on the next episode. Goodbye. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Inspired Women, Amazing Lives podcast, where we help women to be truly inspired to live their most amazing lives. Please subscribe to the podcast to be notified of new content every single week. Feel free to like, comment, and share with the woman who inspires you the most. I hope to see you on the next episode. Goodbye.
Wild safety in the whisper of my secrets, pouring out into the surface.